This week we also have just the one discussion, and it's going to be about usability analysis or formative evaluation. And for your first message, you're going to first and foremost decide which type of study you want to conduct. So how are you going to do it? For formative evaluation, you're going to walk someone through your instructional design, and it could be in the paper prototype or it could be in the actual digital prototype if you already have it. For usability analysis, you're going to have someone evaluate your interface design, and ideally you want to show them your digital prototype. And for the study participants, ideally someone from your target audience is what you should try to find. But of course, in the interest of time, friends, family, or classmates, wink wink, will do. And this is an opportunity to pair up with somebody in the class, since you both are on the same boat, to help each other out. And then you're going to report on what you did. So the type of study you conducted, and then you're going to let us know whose guidelines you're implementing in your study, because since we have quite a few different articles, we want to make sure that we understand where you're coming from. You're going to let us know who the participant or participants were, how you collected information briefly, and this means letting us know how the participant interacted with your lesson. So, I gave them the materials, they went ahead by themselves, looked at them, and they reported on to me. Or I sat down with them as they were going through the materials and I was observing what they were doing. We did this, over Skype or whatever. You're going to describe briefly how you did it. And then if you had any specific questions in mind, or did you use a specific instrument, let us know. So for example, I wasn't sure about my navigation, so I wanted to observe how my users went through my lesson using the navigation. That was what I had in mind. Or I used the form that you provided for us to do the formative evaluation, whichever approach you used. Then you're going to let us know about your results, what worked, what didn't work. And of course, the most important thing is, what are the implications? So what are you going to do about that? Are you making changes based on what you learned? Or you just can't make changes because you can't make a change based on one person's opinion? There are going to be situations in which either approach might be applicable. For example, your learner found a few typos here and there. Those you go ahead and change no matter what. Those you need to change. But then maybe your learner said, that color scheme is awful, and maybe you can't make a change because maybe that's a personal preference. If they are telling you that there's not enough contrast between your background and your text, that's another story. But you have to decide which changes you can make and which you have to hold off on, and maybe ask a few more people to evaluate your lesson. Then for your response, and it's just one to a classmate, you're going to do two things. You're going to compare and contrast your study and findings with that of your classmate, and you're going to reflect on the experience of conducting a usability analysis or formative evaluation. As many of you have mentioned in different contexts so far, you have been looking at this project for way too long, and now you can't see sometimes what's wrong, what are the problems with it. And so having another pair of eyes to look at it is a great experience. Hopefully you're not going to find too many problems, because throughout the course, you guys have been helping each other out to spot areas for improvement. So hopefully this is going to be an exercise that won't find major challenges in your lesson, but it should be a good exercise. Regarding the deadlines, you already know the drill.